Dust Mesa. Now I need to find someplace too high to reach, if I'm to believe anything Fernand said. What do you know? There really is something here. And it's empty.
Spear girl!
Of course.
You found it. The perfect location for an ambush. Now throw down that magnificent spear, and we'll let you live.
You've obviously heard of me. You know what I'm capable of. Why do you think this will turn out well for you?
I like the odds. Get her!
Why do I bother?
You want to...
Too high!
Even taking cover.
But Fernand ran off. Right to the Meridian docks, I'll bet.
Not what I imagined when I was a boy. Would you like to buy something? Only
Fine
You'll
goods
like what I
for a
have for
fair
sale,
price.
I promise.
Come, take a look. I'll give you a good price. Fine goods
Won't
for a
find
fair
better
price.
wares. She was incredible.
Check out these
Stop
wares.
observing without breaking a
Leave the
sweat.
Fine goods for a fair price.
These aren't good. Take a look at these. She
wares.
didn't even hesitate. She
These
stood
aren't
between the
goods,
assassin
they're
and her son.
necessities. You'll regret not stopping when
Won't
you're in the
cost you
thick
a
of it.
shard just to look. See for yourself. You'll like what I have.
I've got all the best.
I have nothing for you.
Oh no.
Did she
Let
really
me
say
in!
the Sun
By
King?
fire and spit! Let me in!
The Asram have gone too far this
Oh, Fernand. Our deal is off.
Oh, it's you. How about a new deal? You could just cut off my finger, or my hand, or my left arm, but that's my final offer.
Tempting, but I want you to spread the word to all your crooked friends. Me and my spear are off limits from now on.
I can do that. What should I tell them?
Tell them how you barely escaped with your life. Get creative. You're good at that. I don't want to have to come find you again.
Understood. You won't hear from any of us ever again.
I'd better not.
Check out
I've
these
got all the
wares.
best goods here.
Rounders, bring in your metal.
Heard from my people in Maine. Scroungers? What kind of brutes are you trying to attract?
We were agreed.
I'll
I
wager
do the
Aaron is
calling,
behind
you do the
Dervahl's
count.
extradition. Also,
I brought you both the parts. So, what do you say?
I don't suppose I could buy just the one.
You'd buy the wrong one. So give the hunter her shards for both.
Of course. Here you are. If this is the price I have to pay.
The price you have to pay. The Snapmaw lens might just cover the loss we take on the other.
It won't sell for a loss, charcoal burner. You'd pay handsomely for a long leg lens if you had an imagination.
I have an imagination. When you rattle that piece of junk around, I think of your skull.
I told you from the beginning this wouldn't be a scrap-dealing operation, that we would have class.
And I told you, a true metal seller knows to get his hands dirty.
As you wipe machine oil on my silks.
Who wears a silk apron to the metal markets?
Dervahl
I do.
stormed the palace, and he still lives. Wares.
There's plenty of work here.
Only the
Move along.
You'll regret not stopping when you're... Think of it. Only the finest goods here. See for yourself. Cost you a shard just to look. Check out these.
Too much Oswald influence at the palace. What's he thinking? Smoke and smoke.
Excuse us. The machine rider graces us with her presence. You're a Nora, are you not? A fighter from the savage lands.
The sacred land, but yes. I fought for everything I got.
Tell me, do the Nora often wander into other people's homes and do whatever they like?
Of course not.
But that is what you're doing, right now. Stinking up our lodge, pestering your betters.
You're hardly my better. Legan said I had to meet you to become a member.
That would be true if there were any chance of you becoming a member. But you're a savage. And no savage will rise in the ranks of the Hunter's Lodge while I am the Sun Hawk. Now be gone.
No. I was led to believe there are rules here. If they count for nothing, then even your position is meaningless. So quit blustering and tell me. Is there a Hawk who is free to sponsor me?
Very well. Talana is free. Wouldn't that be fitting? Trash sponsoring trash. Now get out of my sight.
Faceless traitors.
You're Talana? Assis said you were a Hawk without a fledgling to sponsor. Or are you trying to drive me off too? It's okay, I've dealt with worse.
I'll bet you have. But you're wrong. It's not okay. Especially not today.
What happened today?
One of our own just died fighting Red Maw. You'll never face a more dangerous Thunderjaw. Cuts through trees, rocks, people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's part of the hunt.
Is there any actual hunting in this lodge? So far, it's been all talk.
Yes, of course. You fight a machine, then bring its trophy to Assis the Sunhawk, then no one can deny you brought it down.
Assis, what's his story?
He's the Sunhawk of the Lodge. The highest ranking asshole... member. He's taken down Ravagers, Stalkers, Behemoths.
So, I've taken down a lot of machines.
As have I. Even brought down 2 Stormbirds. But he's a Hawk who brought in the trophies first. That's how it works. Whichever Hawk defeats the greatest machine first becomes the Sunhawk.
How does one become a hawk?
When a hawk dies, his thrush is promoted in his place, no matter how anyone feels about it.
Who is this Legan, the man at the door?
Legan? He's a hawk. He had an impressive run in his day, but he doesn't fight anymore. He supports the lodge in other ways. Unlike the other hawks, who hoard all the best kills and drink the bar dry.
I'm ready to hunt, so tell me, what do I have to do?
You want them to regret looking down on you? Then speak to them in their language. Kill 3 sawtooths, 2 ravagers, and a stalker. Deliver their trophies directly to Assis. That should shut them all up.
So if I do that, you'll sponsor me?
I'll consider it. Just to make Assis spoil.
never know when I might need these. Here we go! Time to get off this thing.
The sun came in and Nora saves his life. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Won't find better wares.
I've got all...
Don't forget to like the button.
Always stay right. Always stay right. No, I'm awake. And alert. Oh yeah. Yeah, everyone knows Carja wares. Carja wares are famous.
I thought I told you.
I'm here to present trophies to the Sunhawk of the Lodge. 3 Sawtooths, 2 Ravagers, and a Stalker for good measure.
I suppose Talana helped you with this.
I brought these down myself. Will you accept them?
Fine, yes. I accept them. But tell Talana she should stop playing with sludge if she wants to get Redmaw. More trophies? No? Then you're not welcome in my presence.
Safe to sit here.
When I gave him my trophies, Assis said you should be spending more time finding Redmaw than helping me.
That bunghead isn't wrong. But there isn't time to find Redmaw right now. You're gonna help with something else.
Oh? And what might that be?
Meet me outside.
It's quite a show.
You wanna help? Here's someone who needs it. Go ahead, Elsadi.
I live in Lone Light, northeast of here. I barely escaped because Glinthawks attack anyone who ventures out. We have so few shards. Will you help? We have nowhere else to turn.
Sometimes members receive an honorarium for the hunt. Assis should have accepted this one, but he refused. The price was too low.
How generous.
In the past, I would have gone with Takas to handle this. And what say you and I take it on? I'll meet you at Lone Light.
What about Redmaw?
Are you in or not?
All right. I'll meet you there as soon as I can. huge. And built to fight. Whoa there.
About time you showed up. More Glen Hawks incoming.
Sun won't save you! Get down!
That seems to have taken care of them.
But more always come. The soldiers at Morning's Watch don't even bother to fight them anymore.
Seems like they're coming from upriver. I could track them back to the source, but if more come here...
I'll watch the village. You go ahead.
I thought you wanted to do this together.
You don't need me to hold your hand.
Might be something up there.
Should have brought a cart. Carcasses everywhere. No wonder the talks were drawn here. Whoever takes furnitures will leave easy tracks to follow. Those blinds up there concentrate fire on a target. Makes it impossible to fight back. It's a cheat, and a wasteful one too. These must be the Snapmaw hunters. I'm here on behalf of the nearby village. Seems your kill zone is creating a Glinthawk problem for them.
Yeah, well, they're not the only people with problems. If we don't get enough Snapmaw hearts to pay off a loan, we lose everything.
I don't follow.
I borrowed shards to buy seeds. The harvest went bust, and now they're coming for the debt. We could lose the farm, our home.
I'm sorry about that, but Glinthawks are attacking people because of what you're doing here.
Not my problem. None of us are leaving until I get what I came for.
None of us?
You didn't think it was just us two, did you? You already have one? Now that's impressive. All right, then.
There, the heart you need. Now what about your promise?
A deal's a deal. And now I can pay off my debt. We won't be back.
Good. Keep it that way.
Aloy. Congratulations are in order. I wanted to make sure you could handle yourself.
You were watching the whole time?
Of course. Tarkus, may the sunlight is passing, taught me many things. First of which was, a hawk never abandons their thrush.
Wait. Are you saying...
I'd like to sponsor you for membership. What do you say to hunting machines, winning trophies, and unseating Assis?
I'm in. I'll meet you back at the lodge as soon as I'm able.
Shadow have been proven baseless traitors. Here's what I don't get about this. These fancy decorations everywhere. It's downright embarrassing.
There's a breath of air from the bellows.
Lucky that Nora was there to protect the Sun King. What on earth were the Vanguard doing?
Prince Itaman is alive and well in Meridian. The Carja and Shadow have been proven baseless traitors.
Prince Edaman has returned to Meridian. I fear what Sunfall may do to retaliate.
How did he get so close to the Sun King? The Oseram Guard will be blaming their shadows for their mistakes. Talana, always a pleasure. I see you've brought your pet.
Greetings, Sunhawk. I hereby sponsor Aloy of the Nora for membership in the Hunter's Lodge.
No! Look at her! She's lowborn, a savage. This is beneath even you, Talana.
She has fulfilled the requirements. And Sun King Avad decreed the Lodge should be open to all. She did save his life. But I'm sure he'll listen to your prejudice over his own common sense. Would you like to take it up with him?
The word of the Sun King is indeed law. Even though it will bring ruin to the Lodge, so be it. Do you, Aloy of the Nora, pledge to act rightly and nobly when in service to the Lodge all the days to follow?
I do.
Members of the Lodge, even though Tarkus is barely cold, I present to you Aloy of the Nora. Member and Thrush, what say you all?
To the hunt!
Sponsoring an outlander. While you make meaningless gestures, I'll be finding Red Maw.
This is a good day.
What's Redmaw?
Few have seen it. A thunderjaw marked by years of battle. Some say it still bears the marks of over a dozen hunters on its flank. How many it has trampled along the way, we may never know. When members go hunting and never return, we often blame Redmaw. But to me, it's more than legend. It's the only machine that will unseat Assis. My sponsor nearly had it, but he didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
Tarkus sponsored me out of loyalty to my family. He was my last link to them, besides the Lodge itself. I have to unseat Assis.
I know why I hate Assis. Why do you?
My family has always boasted members in the Lodge. My father and brother were both Hawks. Assis let their sacrifice be forgotten.
What sacrifice?
They died in the massacre. They should be honored as Hawks. Instead, Assis will not let anyone mention it.
How did your family come to be members of the Lodge?
Karja noble houses have sent sons to the Lodge for generations. Because they needed another place to lord over the commoners. I want to change that. The idea that someone is worthy or not by virtue of birth alone. Everyone thinks they have me pegged as soon as they hear Talana Khan Padish. I hate that.
I understand. My whole life I lived as an outcast from the Nora. They would have been the first to say I wasn't one of them. Yet as soon as I leave the sacred lands, everyone calls me Aloy of the Nora. It should be Aloy despite the Nora.
I didn't know. I'll remember that.
What happened in the massacre?
King Jiran's paranoia knew no bounds. He sent thousands of innocents to die in the Sun Ring. When the Hawks of the Lodge called for him to stop the slaughter, he threw them in the ring too. Yet when the machines attacked the condemned, more Hawks leapt into the ring to defend them. And my father and brother were among them.
I'm so sorry. What happened to the men in the Sun Ring?
They died fighting. If you wish to hear the story, Legan can tell it better. He saw it with his own eyes. I did not. The morning of the massacre, my father told me to meet him outside the city. He told me they were planning an escape. I waited for hours until a message came from my father. I had to leave the city. So I fled when I should have fought by his side.
He didn't want you to die with them.
Nor would he want their names forgotten. Especially by the man who benefited most from their deaths, Assis. Now that you're a Thrush, you should improve your reputation. Why don't you hunt down a Thunderjaw and a Stormbird?
You want me to go trophy hunting?
You're not just any Thrush. You're mine. And you better make me look good.
But what about Redmaw?
I will find him. And when I do, I expect you to be there.
Show was better.
already. about traveling light? Saving these for the trail.
Take a look at these here.
We all have our...
Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
We rescued the prince. Go in light.
Where's Talana? Maybe upstairs.
Knew it was only a matter of time before an Oseram tried to kill the Sun King.
No Assis either. Maybe Lagan knows where they are.
You have trophies? I can hang on to them until the Sunhawk returns.
Where are Assis and Talana?
Assis received word about Red Maw and rushed out. Talana found out a short time later and had to follow.
They both went alone?
Assis left without his thrush. Talana did as well. Though, I saw some outlanders follow after her.
I wouldn't put it past Assis to try something underhanded to get the kill. Where have they gone? I have to help if I can.
You might be right. They've gone southeast, headed for the spear shafts. You'd better hurry.
Dust. Another signal.
How much did Assis pay you?
That sounds like her.
I don't want to kill you! Thank you. I should have seen this coming. Of course he would hire men to keep me from Redmaw. They died for his pride.
Where's Assis now?
He's gone after Redmaw. This way. Hurry!
Why is Assis going after Redmaw alone?
Vanity. He doesn't want to share credit for the kill with his thrush. My sponsor did the same. Went after Redmaw alone out of pride. Even though he knew we needed to unseat Assis. I'm not sure where Assis and Redmaw went from here.
I can follow their tracks. This way. Redmaw destroyed these trees.
I fear we're too late. With Tarkus, I arrived in time to see him die from his wounds. And with my father, I didn't even get back.
Where was...
There he is! Redmaw.
Assis is holding his own. Was holding his own. Well, we have our work cut out for us.
Take this to... Disc launchers! We make a great team.
And now, you're the Sunhawk.
About that.
Talana. He's still alive.
Out of the way, Nora. Filth.
You're done. The Lodge is finally free of your influence.
I kept it alive. In dark times.
No. You buried it. Along with my father's memory.
I should have... I should have let you fight Redmore first. To soften him up. Damn.
Here lies the Sunhawk of the Hunter's Lodge. It's almost a shame.
After all that, you're gonna weep for him.
Oh no. I just wish I could have seen his face when I succeeded him.
Okay then.
Meet me back at the Hunter's Lodge, if you have the time. I have a feeling the new Sunhawk wants to welcome you.
How did he get so close to the Sun King?
You put that Oseram assassin in his place.
Hawk Bradavin Khan Padish, cherished brother, and Sunhawk Talavad Khan Padish, beloved father. Let their memory and sacrifice be a beacon for all hunters, all people to follow. Look, a memorial to my father and brother, and all the men who died in the Sun Ring. You made this possible, Aloy. Thank you.
What was that prayer you were saying when I first came in? I didn't hear all of it.
O great sun, make treaty with the moon to give our fallen quiet rest. Furnish them with the armor of your brazen heat. Give them shafts of sunlight for spears. Illuminate the path to the skies for each one of them. Hawk Gravid Khan Morza, Hawk Sarav Khan Pir, Hawk Usalin Karn Jagir, Hawk Kulasiv Khan Savali, Hawk Bradavin Khan Padish, cherished brother, and Sunhawk Talavad Khan Padish, beloved father. Let their memory and sacrifice be a beacon for all hunters, all people to follow.
What happens now, in the lodge?
As Sunhawk, I've made sure we invite prospective members based on ability and drive, regardless of Karja blood. This lodge will be a stale bastion of the old regime no longer.
So, what's it like to be Sunhawk?
It feels like sunrise after a long night. I'm in your debt. You'll always have a special home here, if you want it.
Well, congratulations, Talana. I should get going.
Thank you, Aloy, despite the Nora. May you always take your prey. I've been accepting trophies all day. How are you?
Oh, you know, another day, another parade of machines to defeat.
Trade ya. I look forward to hearing tales of your next adventures.
Need for anything that they do. Durval stormed the palace, and he still lives.